We recently hit 300,000 organic followers on TikTok, and in this video I'm going to share with you exactly how we've been able to scale our page from 0 to 7.9 million organic views in the last 60 days. And I'm going to share with you 3 content formats that you should not miss if you're trying to go viral on TikTok in 2025. So this is going to be a chatty video. I'm not gonna script anything. I'm just gonna share from the top of my head my experience and the lessons I learned scaling one of the best and the fastest growing TikTok page in Asia. So let's go. So when it comes to creating content on TikTok, a lot of people obsess over algorithms. And yes, I'm not denying that algorithms obviously really important on TikTok specifically, but what I'm going to talk about, if you watch my other videos, I've been talking about algorithms for the last 2-3 years on TikTok. But what I really want to focus on would be 3 content formats that you should focus on if you're really trying to scale on TikTok in 2025 and really get your first 100,000 organic followers without using paid ads, without using any sleazy tactics. So the first content that you should be focused on when it comes to creating viral content is that you want to create unselfish content. And what do I mean by unselfish content? Unselfish content literally means you share your biggest secrets. If you are a chef, showcase your entire recipe. If you are a, if you're a person who has a very specific niche, make sure that you share all the industry secrets. Because quite frankly, if you're trying to hide away, if you're trying to conceal information online, people will start to realize that you have some hidden agenda in your content. So what I've realized starting this page completely from zero, from literally from zero, I started this page in 2022 and now it's 2025, in April 2025. We literally grew from zero. I started this page from scratch, 0 followers, to 300,000 TikTok organic followers without using paid ads and just by leveraging viral content. And I would attribute this to one sole reason, is that my client shares his best recipes. A lot of people try to conceal information. A lot of people try to avoid sharing certain things in the restaurants, but we did quite the opposite. So this is the effect that it's had on our restaurant. We've been able to scale the restaurant at least to 20-30% increase in revenue just by doing viral TikToks to a local context, to a local audience. So number one is make sure that you share your best secrets. And obviously with that, the packaging is really important. The first thing that you have to focus on when it comes to creating viral content is the first 2 to 3 seconds. So how do I define a good hook? So a good hook is very simply put, is if you, let's just say you are going to the movies, the first thing that you want to look at is obviously before you come to the theater is you want to watch and binge watch maybe like the trailers, right? So maybe you have 2-3 different trailers that you watch on YouTube or on your TikTok or Instagram, whatever. You want to know like what is the content of the videos of the movies that you're going to watch, right? So the same thing with your clients and the people that you're trying to target. So number one, create unselfish content in a sense where the first 2 to 3 seconds should make the user uncomfortable that, hey, if I haven't finished watching this content, it feels like I'm missing out on something. So this marketing psychology, the fear of missing out, FOMO, is actually a really, really important skill that you have to master if you're trying to scale your content really fast in 2025 or whenever you're watching this. So point number one is to create unselfish content. So make sure that you share your biggest secrets. And a lot of people always say to me, how do I create, valuable content? What does it even mean by creating valuable content? Well, let me tell you this. You don't need to create valuable content. You just have to create content that is useful for the target audience. Because useful content, in my experience, has performed and outperformed all the other content styles. You could do trendy style videos. I'm sure you've seen those TikTok dances or TikTok trends. It doesn't matter what trends they have right now in 2025, but the trend usually changes, the music usually changes, but what doesn't change is the need for education, Now, this is really deep because if you really understand this, you can really grow a brand really quickly. And that's exactly how I grew this page along with my content partners' expertise, from 0 to 300,000 organic followers without paid ads. TikTok is the only platform. So this is the golden rush. TikTok is the only platform that will allow you to scale without using paid ads, because all the other platforms are competing with each other with regards to paid advertising, influencer marketing. But imagine this, we became like our own influencer just by posting content consistently. So you become a mini micro influencer that literally gets millions of views every single week, right? So no other platform will give you this apart from TikTok. So the number one content that you should focus on is creating unselfish content. Number two is you wanna focus on creating binge-worthy content. So I have this saying where I teach my students is that binge watchers are buyers. Let me say that one more time. Binge watchers are buyers. So people who binge watch your content before, you know, you're even wanting to purchase your product, or before even thinking about engaging you as a service provider, they have to consume at least 7 hours of content from you for them to fully trust you. So this is not just a random stat that I made up. It's actually done by Google themselves. So it is called the 7-4-11 rule. So 7 hours of watch time online, someone consuming your content across 4 different platforms: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Google, maybe, and 11 different content formats. So could be a picture post, could be a story that you posted on TikTok, Instagram story, whatever, could be a carousel post, could be anything, right? So this is really important if you're trying to scale binge-worthy content. So for example, Netflix. If you watch Netflix, there's always like an ongoing series of, what's gonna happen next. So that element of surprise, and you don't know what to expect next, it's really important to have that in your content, because if you don't have that, then your content becomes too predictable. So in a sense, in the content sense, it's good because people can recognize, okay, this is the person who creates this style of content. But also at the same time, you want to add an element of surprise. So maybe test out different content format styles, maybe like a green screen style video, or you could do any type of other content formats. So if you're used to a talking head video like this, maybe try doing an interview style, maybe try doing a podcast style, maybe just switch things up a little bit. So that adds an element of surprise, and it adds to the entire package of binge-worthy content. So remember this. The second point is to always keep your content binge-worthy, because customers and your clients and your followers and fans will keep coming back because they want to see what's next. You have to make it their mission to consistently come back to your page, because once you get returning viewers, and this is something that most people do not understand with TikTok, you go viral not because of the new viewers that watches your content. You go viral from the returning viewers. So let's just say I posted for this account, I posted about probably like 800 videos in the last 2-3 years, right? So let's just say the person's watched the first 3 to 5 seconds. How TikTok makes a video go viral is that that person keeps coming back to all the 799 other videos that I've done. That's how you make an account go viral, because that's usually how TikTok feeds its algorithm to its users. So that's the second point. Make sure that you create binge-worthy content, like a series, part 1, part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on and so forth. This is really important, especially if you're trying to scale on TikTok really quickly. So the last point I want to mention when it comes to creating content online is creating authority-based content. So you want to look at it this way. Just put it this way. What is a style of content that only you could create and none of your competitors could replicate? So it doesn't have to be a competitor, it could be anyone else. So maybe you have had certain experiences in your life that's unique. Maybe you've gone through certain challenges and certain things in your life. So the more vulnerable you can be to the camera and just share like behind the scenes of how you scale your business, or how you managed to overcome a certain fear or challenges. This is really, really important when it comes to growing on TikTok because people like authenticity. For example, like this, I can guarantee you I will get more conversions from this just one video, from this just video as opposed to like the scripted video that I usually do for my podcast or my studio shoots because I'm not memorizing anything. I'm just talking to the camera as if I'm talking to one of my clients or one of my friends. So it's really important to understand this point is that most people will not want to watch your content unless you give them a solid reason to do that. So the number one question lying in everyone else's minds, before they start watching your content is why should I listen to this person? And you should have that reason. What's your unique selling proposition? What's your unfair advantage? Why should people listen to you? Because at the end of the day, they've just they've got so many things to do in life, than to binge watch your content. So you have to give them a really good reason. So I'll tell you why my clients watch my videos is because I have my own unique experience. I founded one of the fastest growing TikTok agencies in the world, working with 7, 8 figure brands. So I understand what metrics work, what data points I should be aware of when it comes to scaling viral TikToks online. And for 7, 8 figure brands, ranging from small businesses, medium-sized businesses to 7 and 8 figure brands that we currently work with. So the stats that I have is something that is unique to me and I can share with you guys, obviously, watching my video today. So that's the unfair advantage that I have because I posted more than 3,000 videos over 179, 180 clients in the last few years. So it's very important that I share my learnings and the stuff that I've done in the last few years so that other people benefit from it. So whenever you try to create authority-based content, maybe just try to ask yourself this one question. What's something that I have that others don't? What's my unfair advantage? And once you figure that out, what you want to do is you want to write it down and write this prompt in ChatGPT. Craft for me 10 to 15 authority-based content ideas based on my experience, and you want to type in your unfair advantage. So a lot of our clients would literally just share this. Hey, look, I've been doing this for the last 30 years. For example, the chef that we are partnered with when it comes to content, he's been doing Italian food for the last 31 years, 32 years. He knows what he's talking about because he comes through the video. And for me, I don't need to script this video because I already know what to say because I answer my clients' queries every single day, right? So the questions, the content that I'm creating is due to the questions and due to the amount of inquiries I've gotten over the last 4 years of running my TikTok agency. So it's very important to understand this point if you're creating content because at the back of your customers' minds, just think about this. They will always ask, why should I listen to this person? If you can't give them a solid reason, they will just click away and you have lost yourself a customer. Because in order for them to pay you, you have to first get them to pay attention. So it's a very important point that I want to stress is that first 3 to 5 seconds, if you can't hook them in with something that is out of the ordinary, weird, or something that is striking enough for them to stop and watch your content, then you've lost a customer. So the last thing I'm going to mention about authority-based content, it's really important to understand who your competitors are. So if you look at the best creators on TikTok, they are not posting daily, right? Let me say that one more time. They're posting quality videos. So in a week, probably like 3 to 5 quality videos. That's how you grow really quickly because the question that I get, typically from business owners or people who are trying to grow on TikTok in general, how often should I be posting? Well, the answer is it depends on you. How much time have you got to create content and make sure that the ideas are validated? So you don't want to create content just for the sake of trying to be original and stuff like that. You don't want to do that at all. What you want to do is you want to replicate a winning content format. If you look at all my viral videos, it's replicated from something else. It could, if I'm doing content in Dubai, I want to find content in the States and replicate it in my own local context. If I'm doing content in Australia and I've I do my brainstorming from other countries and other countries' TikTok videos. That's the brainstorming process that I feel works really well, especially if you're trying to create authority-based content. So 20-30% of your content should show why you're different. So if you're a real estate agent, I'm a real estate agent. This is why I'm different, because I've served X, Y, and Z clients. It doesn't have to be like out of the ordinary kind of like difference. What you just have to do is just like focus on your North Star. Like what's something that people say when they meet you? It's like, hey, you're different because you can speak well in front of the camera. You are confident, you can close deals, you are better in sales. So this is really important when it comes to creating content online, because if you don't discover your unique selling proposition, you will struggle to stand out in social media. So just to summarize what we went through today. So there are 3 content formats that you really should focus on if you're trying to scale on socials, on TikTok this year. So create unselfish content. You want to reveal all your secrets. Don't hold anything back, because funny enough, like you will get more customers just by sharing content in an unselfish manner, essentially. So number 1, focus on sharing your biggest secrets, because you can sell them on the what and why, but the how is where they'll pay you the money. So number 2 is binge-worthy content. So when you think of creating content, think Netflix and think how they've been able to hook you in to watch the other videos. So it's best to create a series of like educational content. Number 3 is authority-based content. So ask yourself, what's your unfair advantage and why should people listen to you? Once you have this, it's very easy to scale on TikTok, because most people that I've spoken to, they would have maybe, viral content, but it doesn't translate into sales. So what it usually means is that you don't have enough authority in your field. So I could talk in front of like hundreds of people out there, and I would get half the room to buy from me, because I just know what to say and who to say it to, right? So that's just the way it works on social media. So I hope you guys found this video beneficial, and remember, if you want to go viral fast, focus on creating binge-worthy content, unselfish content, and make sure that you sprinkle some authority-based content in your TikToks or Instagram Reels. With that being said, thank you so very much for watching. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about how the algorithm works in 2025, then click on this video right here to watch the full breakdown of the algorithm. Thanks very much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.